Good morning, third grade. This is our agenda for Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. Always and forever homeroom. Go to my planner. I'm going to go with Math B today. And again, you should always have this printed out to highlight or X out whenever you're going along. So today is Wednesday. For spelling, there's the Save the Burger interactive unless you were excused from spelling. Vocabulary, unless you were excused, you have a crossword puzzle. And again, I don't collect these activities, so if you choose to study in a different way, that is fine. But basically, spelling and vocabulary study. Reading, you're going to have your first read of hurricanes. Grammar, you're going to identify what makes some sentences more descriptive. And again, that's unless you were exempted from grammar. Writing, you have a rough draft. So yesterday you did your graphic organizer. Today you're going to make the rough draft of your poem. Today is Fluency Day. For Math B, you have IXL practice round 2. And I'll have to double check for Math A, but I believe today is your lesson. And social studies, you're going to begin your will for week 4. And we'll go into that in a minute. And your spelling and vocab words and your extra notes and reminders. Learning Lab today, 1 to 2 via Zoom, and that's third grade only, so you can drop in for homework help. Morning work, it's way back Wednesday. So what historical event took place on February 5th, 1924? Click on this link to find out. English. So it's Wednesday, we have lesson 22.3, and there is nothing to turn in to me for today. So today we will begin by practicing our spelling and vocabulary words. Then you're going to have your first read through of hurricanes. Then you're going to take a look at descriptive sentences using adjectives. Then you're going to write the rough draft of your descriptive weather poem. And we'll finish the day by practicing your fluency. Spelling, the Save the Burger interactive, whatever spelling practice you choose, or if you're exempted, you know what to do. Vocabulary, again, there's a crossword puzzle or whatever study method you would prefer, unless you were exempted from vocabulary. Reading, so it's our first time reading hurricanes. So the last 2 days we've been talking about different types of weather events. Now it's your opportunity to read the book Hurricanes, which is a specific type of weather event. So yesterday you thought about what you know about hurricanes and what you would like to know. So we're going to see if this book answers your questions. And as you read, you'll see your vocabulary words for this week highlighted in yellow. And you can either read this on your own or you can read along with the audio. So grammar. We are still working on synonyms that you can find in a thesaurus. So we know when we use the same adjectives over and over and over again, our writing can get really boring. So to make our writing more exciting and more descriptive, we have to experiment with new adjectives. So adjectives are those words that add sensory details, things that you can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. And we can find these words that mean the same thing but are different in a thesaurus. So remember on Monday we talked about rather than repeating the word small, we might say small, little, tiny. So today we're going to take a look at some writing and see how the author uses adjectives in her writing. So you're going to start with example 1. Just read it. Think, is this descriptive? What do you think about it? Do you think you would change anything? And then self-check. I'm going to do the same thing for example 2 and example 3. Then on to writing. It is now time to take your ideas for your poem that you worked on in your graphic organizer yesterday and put it into a rough draft, your first copy of your poem. So now that you have ideas written down for your poem about weather, you're going to practice putting all your ideas on one paper. So keep your graphic organizer near you, and you're going to follow these steps to build your rough draft. You're going to start with a title. What are you going to call your poem? So we're writing a descriptive poem about a weather event, so the title should name the weather event. So if you chose snowstorm, your title would be snowstorm. If it's fog, you might say morning fog. So title your poem. Then your first sentence. So, it should introduce the weather event in a way that grabs your reader's attention. Choose a graphic. Choose one of the sensory details from your graphic organizer, and then write the first sentence that includes the detail you chose. So here's an example from a poem with the title Morning Fog. When we wake up, a gray blanket covers the grass. So this is about fog, and you think about fog, what do you see? It kind of does look like a gray blanket. So we're using what we're seeing and combining that with descriptive adjectives to build the sensory. So you're going to do the same thing. Then you're going to add more details. So we did, in that poem, we had sight, we still have smell, taste, touch here. So keep going for your graphic organizer so you can keep filling in your poem with these details. So here's a couple more sentences added to that morning fog. So we already know when we wake up, a gray blanket covers the grass. Then we added, cold air surrounds us, making our skin damp. So that's feel. It smells like mud or wet leaves. We hear nothing except faraway hooting. Our mouths taste like metal. So we had see, touch, smell, hearing, and tasting. Then order of details. So once you have each of your details included in a sentence, think about the order your sentences should appear in your poem. So you may use the order in which you wrote the sentences, or you may want to move them around. So I recommend writing a sentence on each sentence. So go for your graphic organizer. Start with the first one, then the second, third, fourth, fifth. And then once you have your sentences made, you can see, do I like them in this order? Do I want to change it up? That's your choice. And you can make notes. So this, in this example, the person decided, I'm going to put my first sentence second and my second sentence first. I'm going to switch those around because I like this order better. So now instead of saying, when we wake up, a gray blanket covers the grass, cold air surrounds us, making our skin damp, it's going to say, cold air surrounds us, making our skin damp. When we wake up, a gray blanket covers the grass. Then we have to do line breaks. So a line break is where one line in a poem ends and another begins. Where are the poem's line breaks in this example? So we have morning fog. Cold air surrounds us, making our skin damp. When we wake up, a gray blanket covers the grass. It smells like mud or wet leaves. We hear nothing except faraway hooting. Our mouths taste like metal. So the first line break in this poem happens after the word us. That's where the comma is. Rewrite your sentences, but this time divide the sentences into lines to make your description look like a poem. To decide where to put line breaks, think about how much you want your readers to read for each line. So this person decided, well, I want this and this to be kind of the same length. So that's what I'm going to do. And then down here, this was a very long sentence, but they wanted them to be the same length. So instead of two sentences, they made it, two lines, they made it into 3 lines. So that might be what you decide to do too. And then fluency. So you're going to listen to this story being read with an appropriate rate, expression, and annotation. Then you're going to practice it. Okay, Math A. I was right. Today you're going to do the lesson Estimate to Add. So the first thing you're going to do is print your notes. You have some mental math, and there's another activity for you to print. There's a video with a self-check. There is some practice problems. Then a self-check. Some math vocabulary. And another self-check. And at the end, you will submit your worksheet. For Math B, today is IXL round 2. So you're going to add money amounts with word problems. No science this week. Social studies. It is the first day for the will for week 4. Now remember, the will is an enhancement of your learning. So yesterday and Monday, you worked on the lesson for this week on the African Kush Nation. This will enhance your understanding, take it to the next level. I'm not collecting it for a grade. It is your choice whether you want your brain to grow or not. And if you complete this in full and you send it to me, you will get your name on a frog that will go in the pond and have a chance to win a prize. So today, you will do the Engage and the Explore sections of the will. And there's a video walkthrough for you here that takes you through step by step of what you should be doing. All right, that is all. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope to see you all today at noon for our live lesson, followed by a read aloud of Harry Potter, followed by drop-in Zoom session for 3rd grade. Have a great day.